Welcome to TW Sports Talk, another edition right here in the YouTube channel. It's draft week for the NFL, obviously.
Tomorrow, first round.
Tomorrow, first round. And of course, we're based out of Philadelphia here, so we're looking to see what they do with the 22nd pick. We'll talk a little bit about that, but obviously we got the schedule that came out the other week ago. Well, the official schedule.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
I guess like almost 2 weeks if you want to look at it. We're gonna go. I guess we're gonna go through it game by game and predict what we think will come out of the Eagles season, at least right now, because we still have the draft, we still have training camp to see what see how the Eagles team shapes up heading into the season. But obviously the 2014 Eagles schedule starts off with I guess what you'd call a stone win against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home.
Yeah, that
am I not mistaken?
That should be a win.
Yeah, so
I would go win there too.
Start off on a high
even
note.
If Jacksonville drafts Johnny Manziel or whoever they draft. I'm assuming it might be a quarterback. Though looking at the draft now, it could be a defensive player or anything. I mean, but no, I don't see Jacksonville, the current Jacksonville team, beating Philadelphia.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they got a defensive head, Gus Bradley. So I don't even. They might go defense for, I don't know. But
who knows?
As we talk about the draft, but then week 2 they have to travel to Indianapolis, and play Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Away, and I have that as a loss.
Yeah, I would say that too. I mean, I think the Colts have a better defense too. It's also at Indianapolis.
Yeah,
they're pretty.
And they'll be coming off of Denver too. So I mean,
not to mention
if
Andrew Luck should have Reggie Wayne this year too, right?
Yeah,
he should be healthy.
Yeah,
and like I said, that to me that's what killed Indianapolis Colts momentum last year was when they lost
Reggie Wayne
because they had like nobody else.
I mean, T.Y. Hilton,
but if I'm the Colts,
it helps.
I would be surprised the Colts draft the receiver this year, first or second round. They'll probably draft the receiver this year,
especially with all the receivers.
Exactly. This team for class. So they should have more depth at the receiver position.
Yeah.
In case somebody else gets hurt.
Reggie Wayne goes. Yeah.
No, I think the Colts should beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe even easily, because as of right now, I can see Andrew Luck putting a lot of numbers up on this defense.
Yeah, depending how it. Yeah.
So so we're 1-1 now.
Yeah. And then the next game is the Redskins, with Deshaun Jackson coming back to Philadelphia. I think this is a game we have differently.
Yeah, we do.
I have them winning this game and then losing the second one of the Redskins. But you have them.
I have them losing this and winning the second one.
Losing this one, yeah.
I just think they think the first meeting's going to have so much more emotion than the second one will.
Yeah.
Of course, maybe the second one might be for the division title then too. So
yeah.
But I just think as far as as far as Jackson's individual goes, I think there's a lot of emotion here, and I don't see how and I know for fact he's gonna be fired up for this when Deshaun Jackson will be.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna the booing's not gonna distract him for the Philadelphia fans. And tell me who in a second he's gonna stop him.
Yeah. Well,
if he's fired up like this, tell me who's gonna stop on our secondary.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is though, if he does get shut down, and he tends to just kind of quit in games we'll see. We'll see how he's involved early in the game.
Tyler, you keep saying that, you might motivate him though. That's
well, yeah. I mean, I'm just
he wants to prove a point here. He wants to prove the point that us letting him go was the biggest mistake Philadelphia could have made essentially here. So and like I said, let's look at the numbers here. Best receiver we had last year.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says here. Even if we find and we should draft the wide receiver the first or second round. We need a second, because Macklin and Cooper are not going to. I don't care how well Foles does this year. They're not going to be able to deliver the numbers that Jackson gave us last year.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I just don't see it. So I just think that Jackson's going to be so motivated, and I just don't see our defense being ready the first time against Jackson. Second time might be different, because then he might have got all that steam they wanted to let out finally. I mean, I think it's just so much emotion.
Yeah.
And not to mention, the Redskins want to actually prove a point here that, okay, you just gave us our chance for the division title, essentially. So, I said, I'm going this for a loss. I think they're going to win the second time. But, I mean, like I said...
I think the Redskins will be better down the stretch, actually. That, and considering it's a new head coach coming in, and perhaps by later in the season, RG3 will be a little more into form again. I mean, we'll see, but
I mean, yeah, but but then again, he might be at form starting the
might
year,
be
and I
banged
mean,
up. Yeah,
like I said, I don't. I think of all the emotion. I just think that this is going to favor the Redskins. I just think Jack's going to be so motivated. Once again, unless the draft says otherwise, I don't see anybody on our current defense that's going to stop Jackson
yeah.
if he's going to be
Hey,
so.
it comes then that in that
And like I
case,
said, even if we stop Jackson, probably with double teams in that,
yeah,
Pierre Casson's not
yeah,
a pushover either. I mean, we got to
yeah,
stop him on the other end.
yeah.
So
And I mean, also it depends
also
how
Alfred
much
Morris
the
in the back. I mean, like I
yeah,
said, the Redskins actually like look pretty
yeah,
dangerous this year.
yeah.
Offensively, defensively, maybe a different story,
Defensively and
but
special teams, yeah,
yeah, different story. But
yeah,
offensively, they got more weapons
yeah.
than we have.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the how the Eagles secondary performs can also depend on how well the front seven, how much pressure they get
Yeah.
on, and not just this game, but throughout the season
Mm-hmm.
and other games. So yeah, that we have that game, and then
So you're 2-1 on
2-1,
on 1-2.
yeah,
Okay.
and then after that, I forget who they play now. Actually, they have a tough game against somebody.
You should have had their schedule
Yeah,
out. It's good job.
yeah, but I mean, after that, I mean, I think that's they've already played. They've already played two of the AFC South division opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Splitting against them. First, division game against Washington. I think they have to next. They have to go to the 49ers actually, and
Huh.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, and
Okay.
that's obviously it's a tough away game for them to travel to, and yeah, I mean new stadium at San Francisco,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I mean I have that as a loss. Obviously,
I I
San
I
Francisco, San
I
Francisco
have a big loss. I think
on the
this
road.
is gonna be a wake up call. I think.
Yeah,
I don't see our offense scoring a lot against the defense, and I don't see our defense stopping their
yeah.
offense. So, big loss for the Eagles. So one and
You have a
three,
starting one, yeah.
one and three
You can
so far.
imagine, like, can you imagine though, like how if they start 1-3, how crazy the fan base would be going.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
Game is, if I'm not mistaken, is the St. Louis Rams.
Hmm.
Another, it could be a decent game, but I think the Eagles should win against the Rams.
Yeah,
It'll be at home,
yeah.
and
Like I said, we'll see what Sam Bradford shows up this year. I think this is
yeah,
this is do or die for him.
yeah,
Definitely.
and they definitely got a running game now, and
Yeah, the Rams are not going to be a pushover. They're going to
right,
be
especially in a tough
well.
division
That's the
too.
thing. I think that they have I think that the Rams are in an easier division
Yeah,
playoff team easily.
yeah,
I-
wild card,
They
depending.
a wild card definitely. So I'll go win probably by a field goal at the end
Yeah,
by Alex Henry.
yeah,
It's gonna be a closer game.
tough game.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a very tough game.
Yeah, and then the next game is Giants at home.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be their last game before their bye. They'll be 6 games in, and I have them beating the Giants. I think the Giants will
Yeah,
be still be a bit of a mess.
another team that needs to definitely draft another receiver because right now they just have
Yeah,
Victor
Victor
Cruz
Cruz. Yeah,
because Akeem Nicks they let go, so they need it. And like I said, it's an old team.
yeah,
Tom Coughlin might be his last chance maybe.
yeah,
Let's see. I mean, and can Eli Manning rebound? I mean, history shows that they usually always rebound. In fact, they even win a
yeah,
Super Bowl usually after a bad year. But I don't see it happening.
yeah,
So I'll go Eagles. But it'd be interesting to see after the draft if I can see depending on after the draft maybe this might be one I might switch maybe
yeah,
whether it's home or away just depending because the Giants like I said Eli Manning can be spotty and when he's on fire dangerous.
yeah,
And Giants are also go from a playoff team to even a Super Bowl contender then.
yeah,
So, we'll see. Right now, I'm going to go win. So, look, the Eagles are back at 500 now.
yeah.
So the fan base can
Heading into the
can
bye.
simmer down again.
Yeah, heading into the bye.
Yep.
Yeah, and okay, and then now coming off the bye, they have the Arizona Cardinals. They'll have to travel to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Arizona great defense, and the
Yeah.
Eagles have trouble traveling there. And even with the bye week, I think they'll lose to the Cardinals
Yeah.
and be 4-3.
I think the Cardinals can be a shocker this
Yeah,
year. They almost shocked last.
I mean they were 10-6 and they missed the
Yeah,
playoffs. So I mean,
exactly. And I think this time they're going to be really fired up this year. I think this
this
time, not to mention they might even have more weapons than they had
yeah,
last year. So
yeah,
I think better defensively than us. And I mean the key factor here is going to be Carson Palmer once again.
yeah,
Assuming he's even the quarterback, because I even heard Arizona might say they may even draft the quarterback this year too. So Maybe
Yeah.
he might not even be the starting quarterback this year, and that might be a positive or a negative for
Yeah.
Arizona. But I'm going to go loss too. I just don't see how Philadelphia's going to get the job done.
Yeah, that's it. Long travel, and I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, and I don't quite think the whole Andy Reid always win. I don't think that really applies now in
No.
the new regime.
Not to mention, I think Arizona wants payback for last year's
Yeah,
loss to us.
and the
Too.
Eagles, historically they don't travel well to Arizona, so and they're tough.
Not
So
to
yeah,
mention, one of the reasons why we beat them last year was Deshaun Jackson, and we
yeah,
don't have him this year.
yeah,
So
yeah.
once again,
But I mean, then
does Macklin
who
and Cooper fill
knows?
that hole? I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I think
I mean, but then again, I mean, we'll see how much more
yeah.
they tailor the game to the tight ends this year, and Darren Sproul. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see how
we'll
that'll.
see if Darren Sproles
We'll,
shows any signs
we'll,
of the old Darren
we'll
Sproles, or
see how it.
we still have
Yeah,
the old washed up Darren Sproles that the Saints were so happy to get rid of. Essentially,
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he can have a great explosive game, and then he could do nothing the
Yeah.
next week. So yeah, we'll never know really there. But
Mhm.
coming off that game, now there'll be 7 games in.
Yep, I got him at 3-4.
Yeah, I am at 4-3 right now, and then
Yep.
I think next they have the Texans on the schedule. Texas is an interesting team.
No one
See what
pick
they
here, but
draft.
this is a team that might be that's 1 or 2 positions away from being a playoff team
Yeah.
again. I think.
Yeah, I mean
Especially at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I mean a couple of years ago they before last year's disaster
Yeah.
they were a playoff
And it
team,
was a
but-
disaster.
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean that's. But I think the Eagles will pull out the win here. Tough game.
I'll go win, but if the Texans go big on draft day,
Well, yeah, I mean we'll see.
I might once again that might be a flip for me then.
Yeah, but I mean we'll also see
Because
who the
we're
Eagles
talking
get,
JJ.
too.
We still got a very solid defense in JJ
Yeah.
Watt. You got Andre Johnson out there. I mean, Arian Foster, if he can stay
If
healthy,
he
can
can
be.
stay healthy, yeah.
And I said, whoever they get a quarterback, because assuming that's what they're going to need a quarterback.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't see who's the quarterback.
Well, many people speculate they'll get Jadeveon Clowney, but
Well,
at least with the first pick.
All I can say is that adds more. That makes that defense more scary then.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, exactly.
that guy is a freaking college.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And you have that JJ Watt. I mean,
Yeah.
Nick Foles better get that ball out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
He's gonna get demolished
Yeah.
on a regular basis against the Texans. So I mean, to me though, it's offensively. Whoever they get a quarterback, because I'm assuming they're gonna draft a quarterback also. Second round might be Teddy Bridgewater because it looks like he's gonna go.
Yeah.
He's gonna fall back to the second round. So I could see Teddy Bridgewater maybe, and I mean, he might show sign. Like I said,
Might be better than what they have now.
well, I think definitely better than Matt Schaub.
Yeah.
I think Matt Schaub just proved last year that he was a walking piece of mediocrity essentially. So I mean, right now I'll go win for Eagles. I think it's 5. I think they're 500 again, 4-4.
Yeah.
But I might flip it if depending on who the Texans draft.
Yeah. Well, then also see who the Eagles draft as well. I don't know.
Yeah, well that's the thing too. We'll see.
Yeah, and then after that, so I have them at 5-3 at midseason. Then after that, I think they take on the Titans. I think at home, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I don't know. Either way, I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's a win.
Yeah,
for the
I'll go
Eagles.
win too. Definitely with Chris Johnson going. I think they lost
Yeah,
a big offensive weapon
Yeah.
running game. Jake Locker, this is a make or break it year for him too at quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean, very good defense last year. They actually showed a lot of promise on their defensive end, but offense they got to get going
Yeah.
if they would make the playoffs. So
yeah,
I mean, I could see this being dangerous too. Once again, this Eagles defense, you don't know.
yeah,
And if Nick Foles has his on and off again year, because it was like he had 7 straight games of the entire last year. He had some bad games last year,
like
That-
one or two.
that
I
made you
think.
just cringe and make you just say,
I
"Why
mean,
is this guy the starter?"
The Cowboy. I mean, other than the Cowboys game, I don't know what other bad games he really had, other than the Cowboys one last year.
Well, the Minnesota game was pretty bad.
I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I mean, he still put up a lot of yards in that game, and
Did put up a lot of
the
points.
defense was terrible in that game for one thing. I mean, but
Well, I think the special teams. I think Chip Kelly was terrible in general.
it was
in that
probably
game.
I mean, it was probably some of that too, but
a lot of what was it? Squib kicks is what.
yeah, I mean, because they were afraid of the kick returner, and
Because their special teams suck so bad apparently that
And
they
they
we
didn't
gotta
have-
give them. We gotta have them at the 40,
Yeah.
and that. And who's the quarterback? Like what? Christian Ponder just
Yeah,
demolished us.
I
Then
don't think. Yeah, I mean,
it was a
for
nightmare
Nick,
all
I
around.
mean, it was a loss, and some would say a trap game of
And keep in mind, the
sorts.
last
But
game he played, the last actual, I'm not counting the Pro Bowl as his last actual
yeah,
game. The Saints, he was a bad game.
yeah.
Period.
I mean, it was cold.
It was a bad game for him.
It wasn't. I mean, statistically, it wasn't bad, but
A lot of three and outs. A lot of
a
three
lot
and
of three.
outs.
But I mean, the play
He,
calling, I think, was definitely part of that. I mean, and it was a slow game to begin with. I mean, the Saints didn't really do anything in the first half on offense either.
they had 2 turnovers in the first half. We didn't capitalize
The
on it
Saints,
all
well, yeah, I
offensively.
know, but I mean,
And you
it
got to blame
was
the quarterback for that.
part. I mean, it wasn't just him though. I mean, he was still making some nice throws, but
Just saying. Just
I
saying.
think the
It's a
play.
make or break year for Nick Foles.
Well,
Period.
yeah, but as far as like a good game or a bad game,
I
I
I
don't think it was a bad game.
I'll say I'm just gonna say bad
I
game
mean, they left.
because if he wants to if he wants to if people want to say this guy is possibly the next Peyton Manning in that he's got to deliver like Peyton
Yeah.
Manning does in big games. Then.
Well, I mean, in that game, I mean, you had Riley Cooper miss what could have been a touchdown pass
Well, I would say a touchdown. I'd say definitely an easy 20, 30-yard first down.
into the red zone, and I mean, they left I mean, their last possession in that game on offense. I mean, they left the field with the lead, and then it was bad special teams and defense that ultimately cost them the game. So. I mean, Nick Foles did kind of leave him with the lead in that game, but the defense and the special teams couldn't hold up. So, but anyways,
Yeah.
back to this, back to
Schedule,
this, in this
yeah.
make or break year too for Nick Foles.
Yep.
After that, so that's 9 games
Yeah.
after the Titans.
I think I'm
After
five,
that,
I think I'm 5-4 now. I think the
I
Titans
yeah.
win. Yeah. It's a win against Tennessee.
After that, they have to go to Lambeau and play the Packers, and I'm not counting on
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not counting on Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
being out this time.
No.
So I put that as a loss.
That's a
obviously.
loss. So I'm 5-5.
Yeah, and I guess I have them at 6-4. And then they have the Cowboys at home. I'm sorry, away on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I think they'll beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm hoping they do because my most of my family members that they are Cowboy fans, so I don't want to have to deal with this whole.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's gonna be a win.
Yeah.
I don't want to get embarrassed.
Right. Yeah.
After eating all that turkey and all that and getting yelled at by my
Yeah.
cousin
Smells like sweet
for
sour
being like an Eagles fan and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Eagles just come through and just like
Yeah.
the game's over then. But
Yeah.
if it's close, I mean I'm gonna be nervous that day.
Right. Yeah.
So no, I'll go win. No, I don't see the Cowboys
Yeah.
doing a whole lot this year, even if they
Yeah.
pick up Johnny Manziel,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I'm just mind boggled by that. Even the fact that Jerry would just throw Tony Romo under the bus,
Yeah.
like he was just a piece of crap essentially.
Yeah. And then after that they got Seattle. They'll have 10 days. I guess, but
They're gonna have 14 days. They're not being Seattle.
Yeah. The thing is too.
You can give them a month to prep.
The
They're
thing
not beating
is,
Seattle.
well, the thing is also Seattle will have the same amount of because they play on Thanksgiving too.
Doesn't matter. You're not being this Eagles team's not being Seattle.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying too. Like they'll have the same amount of rest here. So, I mean, they have to travel to Lincoln Financial Field, but that's not. That's after last year. That wasn't too big of an issue. So
no,
it could be a competitive game, but I'd pick the Seahawks.
No,
it's not. You laugh. I mean,
it's not going to be a competitive game.
Well, I mean, I mean, who knows? People can get banged up on the Seahawks. I don't know. I mean,
well, our only hope
know.
is that Marshawn Lynch is not 100% because I think no. Percy Harvin's not 100% because Percy Harvin showed that this team with him has another dimension offensively.
Yeah.
If he is 100% for the full year, this is a way more dangerous team than last year's Seahawks team.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Russell Wilson can actually stay in the pocket, unlike Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah. Well, the way he rolls out and surveys the field. Yeah. The point is he doesn't even have to run, but he is the threat.
Actually, we should bring it up there too. What happens if Kaepernick gets in problems for this whole assault charge? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean that'll definitely be interesting to see what happens, but.
I
didn't look into it too much.
I'm saying if that happens there and something happens to the point where he's not the quarterback, maybe
of the 49ers, yeah.
Who would their backup be then?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Gee, man, you really wish you got rid of Alex Smith now.
Yeah. No, I don't know who Yeah, I don't know who their
Because
backup
if it would
is.
be, then that Eagles game is interesting.
Yeah,
Well, any 49ers game is interesting because at this point, it's like, okay, we just need our defense to help us then.
yeah,
Because
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll wait and see what happens with that. But
I just brought
yeah,
up there because I'm just like, it's not it hasn't been getting that much news, but it hasn't gone away either.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I
it's
don't
clearly
know.
right now a non it's a non-issue right now, but it's not a non-issue to the point there where it's like no one wants to talk about it.
Yeah,
It's been brought up in segments here once in a while.
yeah,
So if something happens there, that I don't know if you're a 49ers fan, but to see
yeah,
how your season outlook changes then.
yeah. Um,
But no, I Seattle gonna probably destroy us.
yeah.
I think
I don't know.
if Percy Harvin is healthy for a whole year, he's gonna destroy us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then you got to see.
If our defense is not as
Yeah.
strong, he's gonna
Well, yeah.
it's not gonna be
But I mean,
close.
then you also got to see, who the Eagles end up getting on offense and off, the draft, and see who's still healthy on the Eagles. And
Yeah,
I mean, it depends really. I mean, we'll see. I mean, the good thing is that last year they stayed pretty much healthier than any other team in the league. Maybe with
don't jinx it,
the
Tyler.
whole sports science
Don't
thing.
jinx it.
So I don't
Don't
know.
jinx it.
But I mean, I don't know. But we'll wait and see how they come along down the stretch
Macklin could tear his ACL
at
opening
any given
week,
moment.
and
Yeah,
then who we have? Wiley Cooper. He's not carrying
yeah,
the
right.
team to the division
Yeah,
title.
yeah. We'll see who they draft. I mean, hopefully, obviously, the first couple picks,
Yeah.
that they have, they could still get somebody good on wide receiver, even if it's in the second round or maybe even the third round. I don't know, but
I don't know. ESPN said that they're expecting about as many as 15 wide receivers
wide
to get picked,
receiver,
which would be
yeah,
a record. So
yeah,
that shows how deep it is.
yeah,
First 2 rounds.
yeah. So that so yeah, after the Seahawks, then they have the Cowboys once again. This time at home for the
Mm-hmm.
Eagles, and I think they'll win against the Cowboys again.
Yep.
I don't see. I
Yeah.
just don't
It,
see too much with the Cowboys.
all I can say is the defense can't do anything but go up at this point.
Right. Yeah.
When you're 32nd on defense, you can't.
Yeah.
There's no
And you
33.
lose to Marcus Ware.
Yeah. That might have been a plus more than a negative, but
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's
so
their biggest weapon.
I don't know, but we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
but no, I mean, it's a win. It's a win. I don't think we're gonna lose to Dallas.
Yeah. And then the Redskins the next week, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this is where we split. We flip flopped our
Yeah.
win losses on
Yeah.
Redskins. I guess at this point, the Redskins will be desperate, and I figure maybe, the Eagles will drop one after this, and
I would say desperate. I think this could be the game that determines the division title, especially if
yeah,
Washington beat us
or
in the
even
first
if
meeting.
yeah, or even if yeah,
And if we have Daniel records coming in, this could be for the division title essentially.
So either way, I mean, one or the
It's
other.
a big game. We're expecting this to be a big game.
Yeah,
I think all the emotion about with Jackson's going to die off at this point.
yeah,
All it's going to be about is a division title. It's not going to be about Jackson got let go by the Eagles. I mean,
yeah,
all that's going to be the focus of the first meeting.
yeah,
Is Deshaun Jackson, Philadelphia, and all that stuff. That's going to be gone at this point. It's just going to be
Yeah.
about the division title and who's going to win, the Redskins or the Eagles.
right, yeah. Playing down the stretch, and
Yeah.
and then they finish up. Well, the last 3 games, if you look at it, are their division opponents, and they finish up with playing the Giants on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at this point the Giants will be mathematically out of it.
Oh, I think we missed somebody. The Panthers. They faced the Panthers.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was one game. Yeah, they have the Panthers at home
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in mid-season.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the Panthers will take a small step back just because
They lost
receiver wise.
They got rid of Steve Smith. I mean,
Yeah.
I know he's getting old,
but he's still pretty productive, and
he was the most productive guy they had last year.
yeah. So
What's all these teams get rid of all their productive receivers?
Yeah,
So I mean, they got nobody at receiver now.
yeah. I mean,
So you talk about somebody that definitely just draft the receiver first round.
Right.
It's Carolina. If they don't,
yeah,
you're Cam Newton. You got to be starting
Yeah.
to think maybe we should get the hell out of this franchise because clearly they don't want to get a
Right,
winning
yeah.
season.
yeah,
Because the Saints are going to be better,
right, yeah,
especially defensively. They're going to be better.
yeah. I mean, they got the number, the safety.
You expect Atlanta's going to be moving in the right direction this
Right,
year,
yeah,
and they took a big step backwards.
yeah,
So I mean, if you're Carolina, I mean, losing Steve Smith was a big loss.
yeah.
No matter how you look at it. So
Because the rest of their receivers that they have on the roster currently, like they
bunch of no names.
they had yeah,
So I mean, the only good thing they have right now is that they have a
The
very solid
defense,
defense.
yeah.
But you got to score points in the
Yeah,
NFL.
yeah. So I had that as a win.
Yeah, I'll go win unless they draft like deep
Yeah,
and like they make some amazing play
yeah,
like management decisions, which they haven't really so far.
yeah,
So no, but it's a win. So
yeah. And then yeah, finishing up with the Giants on the road, I'd have them winning. I guess I
yeah,
kind of already
yeah,
said.
I'll go win.
Yeah.
So I think we
So
both have
we
10.
both have 10 and
I think the
6.
only thing we
Yeah,
disagree on was just the Redskins thing. Like you
yeah.
said,
The order of
I
the
have a few matchups: the Texans, the Giants, where
There
depending on
could
what
yeah. I
happens,
mean yeah,
those could be some switches, maybe.
yeah. I mean
So the worst case scenario for me is going to be 8-8.
yeah. I mean that still. I mean could possibly win the division depending maybe by
Depending on how
division.
well the division, which
May,
is they're expecting a low
yeah,
turnout this year,
maybe by yeah. It
because
could
Dallas,
by
like you said,
division record. I
because
mean
Dallas, like you said, nothing really changed with this
right.
Cowboys even last
If
year's
anything,
team.
they've only gotten
The
worse.
Giants, I mean, like I said, see what they did in the draft. Washington looks like the biggest threat to
Yeah,
Philadelphia
yeah.
right now.
I kind of
Easily
agree.
the
Yeah,
biggest threat. In fact,
I could see them
like I
winning
said,
8
wide
games.
receiving core wise, they got a better wide receiving core than we do right now.
Yeah.
Defensively, I flip a coin. I think at this point here between
Yeah.
Washington and
Well, I
Philadelphia.
mean, I think the Eagles could come. I mean, at least the front seven is probably
I think as far as running
probably
backs
better.
go, we have an advantage. Whether it's Sproles
Yeah, they
or
can preserve LaShawn McCoy a little
or
bit
McCoy.
with
Well, yeah, that was the main criticism last year was that and that by I wish Chris Polk's best in all his future endeavors and
yeah.
because clearly someone's getting
He's
cut.
yeah,
And, it's not going to be Bryce Brown. I don't think. I think Bryce Brown's
yeah.
going to be third
They
string
can
now.
definitely use him more like straightforward, straight ahead running.
Yeah.
You know,
So Chris Polk's gone.
yeah. If I mean they can't keep all four.
No,
Yeah,
no.
so it's one of those two guys
He's
are
gone. I
either
wish him
now.
all his best in all his future
Yeah,
endeavors.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, and then
But I think because Alfred Morris had a bad year after an
last
amazing
year.
rookie year. So, but he is young still, and this is his third
Yeah.
year. See what he does this
Not
year.
only that, I mean, their defense, they always had to play catch up, a lot of times, and they got in a lot of shootouts.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they couldn't
Special teams be interesting.
they couldn't
but
run the ball as much maybe as they would have liked to.
no, but I mean, like I said, I mean, obviously there's a lot of questions with Philadelphia right now. But I
Yeah.
think 10-6. I think right now I'd say first, Washington second,
Yeah.
Giants third, and
Dallas probably,
is probably dead last. Romo needs to put up amazing numbers this year.
Yeah.
And he can do it. He's proven in a regular season he can do that. Until maybe the end of the season where he needs to win games. And that's the thing. The amazing numbers win games. The amazing stats win games. And this team for Dallas, it feels like it's all about stats, not about wins.
Right.
Or in the words of Jerry Jones, it's about entertainment. It's not about production, essentially.
Yeah.
Or we entertain, We
Yeah.
lost 48-51 to Peyton Manning. I was entertained that we lost 51-48.
Yeah.
The fans were entertained. They have the money's worth. I mean, I say that's a business win.
Yeah.
We still lost the game. We dropped. We lost. But we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably, and I guess we'll probably end up going through the schedule again before, week 1 and anyways.
Yeah.
And, see where teams sit, what major injuries may have happened, or
Well, that's the key thing too. There too, injuries are going to be the
Yeah.
injuries are always key.
Last year that Macklin goes down in training camp, and
Kind of already put a
looked a little more bleak. Yeah,
bleak,
so
looked very bleak for the Chip Kelly offense.
yeah, so
And this year we don't have Jackson, so we'll see.
yeah, so
We'll see, that's a
so yeah,
factor.
yeah, and we'll see. Yeah, and I guess we'll shift into the draft now. We'll kind of talk about a little bit, who they might draft and.
You want to talk about also maybe the first few picks, also seeing who you
Yeah, I like the Texans. I think I mentioned earlier. Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
Most people speculate that's who they're going to go for.
Well, for originally there was this debate about do you take Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater, who lost so much momentum after that horrible pro
Bridgewater
day.
will probably be in this. Yeah, probably fall in the second round now.
I mean, Blake Bortles was also up there, and he's still going to probably go in the first round too. Early first round, it looks like. Looks like Johnny Manziel is going to be the first quarterback taken, possibly by either Jacksonville or Cleveland.
Yeah, I think
Cleveland has the advantage.
I think Cleveland. Yeah, I think Cleveland will.
Does that change your perspective with Cleveland then maybe in the South?
Not you mean in the
if they got Johnny Manziel.
You mean in the North? Then if
that's right. So the North. I'm thinking Texas.
Jacksonville.
I'm thinking
Jacksonville is set. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, but I was thinking Texans too.
Yeah.
But no, but you think that might change your perspective for the Browns, maybe?
No, not at least not year
No,
one.
no. Okay, yeah. Okay. If you
I
draft,
mean,
if the Texans drafted him, did that change the Texans' perspective, maybe?
well, I think the Texans all like right now. I mean, they have a better defense than Cleveland and
I think a better all around team.
better,
Yeah.
yeah, better all around.
Grant, Cleveland probably made the
So
biggest noise in the free agent
yeah,
market this year.
yeah. So if
So there's clearly some noise in Cleveland
yeah,
right now.
but yeah, I mean, if Manziel went to I mean, who
I think
knows?
he'll sell tickets, but
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think at the end, which I think is why if you're Jacksonville, you take him also.
Yeah,
But I think he can be a productive guy too.
yeah,
My biggest fear of anybody else is if can he stay in that pocket long enough, and
yeah.
can he take
In
hits,
in
and
the
can
NFL,
he get up from hits?
right?
He's a small guy.
Yeah.
I will say
I
this though,
mean,
he is a better quarterback than Tim Tebow was.
yeah,
Tim Tebow, because I'm sick and tired of them linking him to Tim Tebow for his hype, the hype machine.
yeah,
That all Tim was hype. Every mechanical thing that they needed in a
yeah,
quarterback in the NFL, he failed at. From having a throwing arm, I mean, you name
yeah,
it. Tim did not have it. And in fact, as of right now, all quiet. It looks like Tim Tebow is not going to get picked up by anybody this year for
right.
even as a third stringer. He's fine. He's an ESPN analyst, by the way, for college.
Yeah,
So he's going to do fine people. He's not going to
yeah,
be homeless. He's not going to go on. Like he
right.
has a
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
But Johnny has, he has the $1 million arm. He has a great, completion percentage. He won the Heisman Trophy his freshman year. He also did all this, with a college team that had was like one of the worst defenses in college football too,
yeah,
and the SEC of all things too. Like I mean, not to mention he played in the SEC much like Tim Tebow did. Granted, when Tim played, he pretty much dominated the league. There was like no competition. I felt like.
yeah,
Menzel had to face LSU, Alabama. I mean, I just think Johnny just has so much more tangible things you can look at than Tim Tebow. He also has intangibles too. Some bad. He
Yeah,
was quite a partier his freshman year
yeah,
of college. But hardworking. I feel like he actually does listen to coaches, like to tell him
yeah,
to change stuff. Like Tim, I didn't feel that. I think Tim was so he didn't want to change a whole lot to his game.
yeah,
Because he felt like that's what made him him, and that's fine. But you're not going to win over a whole lot of friends in the NFL then.
yeah,
But I don't know. We'll see there. But I look at it this way in the South. When you have Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco, and Ben Roethlisberger, just as quarterbacks alone, I think you got to say it's a toss up as far as quarterbacks go. Because I think Johnny Manziel can actually do better than Flacco.
In the long run, maybe.
I think he can do better definitely than Andy Dalton, who at this point has gone to 3 straight playoffs in his first 3 careers. He's not won one playoff game yet in his career though. And Ben Roethlisberger, how many years does he have left? So, I mean, as far as Cleveland goes, I think it's a money making decision.
I mean, they got Josh Gordon and
well, that's what I'm saying too.
Young.
I mean, there's actually talent on this Browns team, so I'm not going to go playoff run, but I do think
They just have a dark cloud over them.
For Cleveland Brown fans, yeah. I would not be. Say I'm crazy.
I'll root for
2-4 in the division next year for Cleveland if they get Johnny Manziel.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, 2 against. I mean, the Ravens and
1 against the Ravens, 1 against probably
1 against the Steelers.
Probably
I think.
Steelers.
Yeah, and maybe 1 against. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how the
3-3. Wow, that's
no. I mean, we'll see if the Ravens get back to form. I don't. Maybe they'll get 1.
Yeah, it was definitely
one over the.
It was
maybe
definitely
1 on the Bengals. Actually, I don't know.
Joe Flacco did not back up that contract extension last year. And that defense really missed so many people.
I mean, we'll see if they maybe get back to the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see. They came close. They blew it in the end. That last week, they had to win. That's all they do was win. They lost.
Yeah.
So, no. I mean, we'll see. But no, I do. I think right now it looks like Cleveland. The GM likes him.
Yeah.
Coach likes him. Kyle Shanahan, offensive coordinator, likes him. It sounds like Johnny Football is going to Cleveland. So if you're a Cleveland Browns fan,
I agree. Yeah.
That's money. If I can, copy Johnny Manziel's,
Yeah,
I mean, as far as that goes, as far as Blake Bortles, I hear the Vikings might be interested in him, maybe.
Yeah, you might maybe mid-first round somewhere in that mix. I don't know if he were to slide to like Arizona, for example. I could see Arizona taking.
Like I said, I mean,
because you never know.
Carson Palmer's not a guarantee.
Right. Yeah. So if he were available there, I mean, I could see Arizona.
The first big trade is the number 2 spot, the Rams. A lot of people were curious if they might.
Yes, yeah, because see the Ram. I don't know. Some are There's been rumors that that they might get Johnny Manziel, which might only be because they want other teams like Cleveland to
Move up.
push for
Move up, yeah.
exactly. But yeah, I don't know who the Rams will take at two. I don't think it'll be Johnny
I
Manziel.
heard it. Crap, I forget the guy's name already. It popped in my head. Cleo Mack, I think was one
Khalil
that got
Mack,
brought up
yeah,
because
he's a
from
possibility.
Buffalo. I mean, he actually posted a very solid combine
Yeah,
and everything. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see there. We'll
yeah,
see what happens there. But
yeah. And then like with all like the mock drafts, there's like teams here and there like the Buccaneers taking a wide receiver, maybe Mike Evans.
yeah,
There's like other teams that could possibly take one of those wide receivers.
Sammy Watkins could. I think it was a name that other people had maybe going early too.
Yeah,
Jacksonville, they could say maybe Jacksonville might go for him because they definitely do need a wide
yeah,
receiver.
yeah. Sammy Watkins and yeah, I think. But yeah, I mean, either way, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
as far as the Eagles goes, depending if they're targeting a cornerback or a free safety or you
Wide
know,
receiver.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, either way, there'll be a wide receiver there. I'm sure that
Mm-hmm.
can still produce for them. I guess it might depend how much, they're targeting cornerbacks or safeties or pass rushers, and if there's any of them still on the board that interest them really, as to whether or not they'll take a wide receiver
I
or I don't know. I mean,
I look at
who knows?
I don't know. I look at it this way: our defense definitely does need somebody else.
Yeah,
I'm not questioning that. Playmaker,
yeah,
and that's what we need is a playmaker because that's what Deshaun Jackson was a playmaker. Macklin shows some signs once in a while,
yeah.
and Cooper, I just don't see him being as a playmaker. Even last
Only
year,
deep
he
ball.
I don't even go deep ball Fred either. I just see.
Sometimes, I
I
mean,
feel like Cooper was just there because one, we needed the roster spot last year,
yeah,
and two, because I think that Jackson was such a deep threat that he got open.
yeah. He stretched
And,
the
and,
field more. Yeah,
well, I mean, I think so. He's a tall guy too, but I wouldn't say he's like Mr. Reliable now as far as like falling deep. I think we need a new Mr. Reliable essentially.
yeah.
And I look at Benjamin. He's got the quickness.
Kelvin Benjamin.
He's got the height. He's played for Florida State. Jameis Winston. And I look at Cook out of Oregon State
Yeah,
because the games I saw him in, the guy's got amazing hands.
right.
So he won't drop passes, unlike Bradley Cooper.
Two guys. Yeah,
So I mean,
they could still be there at
I no.
22.
Here's the thing. I think we don't draft wide receiver. I think they're gone in second round, early second round. I
Yeah,
think they're
I
that
mean,
talented.
it's more of
They're
a
gone.
crapshoot. Yeah, basically.
Well, that's the thing there too. It's are they going to be there in the second round? Do you feel that confident? Because if they're not, huge mistake
Yeah,
on the Philadelphia part. Because
yeah,
I think at this point, because like I said, would I rather prefer Mike Evans and Sammy Watkins, and if we have a chance to trade up and get those guys, we obviously should do
they
that.
could do. Yeah,
I don't say that. I don't say that. I think those two guys go off the board. And after that, then you gotta say, okay, well, who's next? Okay, we got Benjamin and we got Cook. Cook, who I think has potential. There's also a guy out of LSU too. But
yeah,
my whole thing is that hey, we don't go wide receiver first round. They're gone.
yeah,
Those three guys are gone.
yeah,
And that was stuck with maybe a decent wide receiver, but I don't think I'm not saying I don't see playmaker though.
yeah,
And we need a playmaker.
yeah,
So you want to go playmaker, you want to go first round then.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, maybe there's a guy that they really targeted too, and they might try to trade up for too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not concerned about the quantity of picks that the Eagles don't have. As long as they fill wide receiver position of need, or maybe someone in the safety position, even if it's like third round, or they get
Well, Tyler, like I said, I'm just saying that the guy that they pick should be able
in
to
the first.
start
Well, yeah, the first
week
round. Yeah,
one
obviously, yeah.
and be considered a legitimate target
Well,
as
yeah,
like
right. Obviously, the first round.
yeah.
Yeah, but like with the later rounds, I mean, third, even mid rounds, they could still maybe get something on defense that is better than what they have, and
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see, I guess, how they go. And yeah, I mean, a pass rusher is another thing that they might be looking for,
Mm-hmm.
a nose tackle. I don't know, but I mean, they at least have in the front seven. I mean, they have Connor Barwin and Fletcher Cox, and they do have some guys there that can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, I mean, wide receiver, I think is what a lot of people are saying. That the first round they go with.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I think that pretty much
Well,
covers what's going on.
one more player guys have not been talked about in the news much. This might be a good thing for him or a bad thing for him. Michael Sam,
Michael said, yeah.
on the verge of making history. What round do you think he goes in? 'Cause
Probably, I think later, like maybe a 6 or 7 round.
wow, really that
Yeah,
far? Because
only because,
some
yeah,
guys have said third and fourth round maybe for him.
they were,
I
but
mean his.
I mean, I don't
I'm trying to think.
talent
His
wise,
combine was bad,
yeah,
or at the very
but
least mediocre. And if you want to be at least in the third, but his pro day was supposed to be like
yeah,
he proved in every area that they did bad in the combine in. So the guy can improve.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I just say, not. I think he should go like where his talent says he should, but just with the way,
Let's put it this way. You do
just
think
because the
you do you,
attention, the extra attention that
well, let's look at Jason Collins for the Brooklyn Nets for a second here,
yeah,
because technically he was the first.
yeah,
But I think ESPN did the best one here too. Yeah, he showed up. Cameras were there for one day, but sun came up, sun went
sun's
down.
down, yeah,
Earth still stood still.
yeah,
Nothing happened.
yeah,
And after a while, nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares.
right,
Just Collins, yeah, he's gay. Who
yeah,
cares?
yeah, exactly, yeah,
So I mean, okay, that's basketball. I get it. NBA might be slightly different in that, but it's like okay, the Nets are the Nets are still around.
yeah,
They're in the playoffs, so I
yeah,
checked the fact they're in the second round too.
yeah.
So
I
there's
mean,
a way.
against the Miami Heat now,
I think they're screwed pretty much.
screwed, but
I think they're screwed with Miami, but
but
but I but no, but I'm looking at
but
that.
yeah,
So it's like I think it was like when the John Stewart. It's just like all this will be a distraction. I don't see it being a distraction.
yeah, not in the long run, definitely
No,
not. Just because the way the media is,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
it's kind of
don't get me wrong, I
unfortunate.
think it's a big deal because it hasn't happened.
It's just
I mean,
historical to some
to me
point.
though, are people going to be surprised? How many athletes have come out of the closet after they retired and
Yeah,
got out of it,
yeah,
that landscape though? And we're talking like very like talented athletes too.
yeah,
So I mean,
yeah,
for me, I hope he gets drafted. I don't care where, but
yeah.
I think he deserves to get drafted though.
Right, exactly.
He actually
Yeah,
he had a very productive career at Missouri of
yeah,
all schools essentially. I mean, hell, he shut down. I saw him against Johnny Manziel. He really made Johnny football look pretty bad
yeah,
in his supposedly last SEC game. So the guy's got talent.
yeah.
In fact, what was he? The defensive player of the year for the SEC, I think.
I
Also,
think yeah. He
so
wants. Yeah,
so the guy's not like. So I don't know. We'll see, but obviously that's going to make news as soon as it
yeah.
happens.
Right.
I mean, you said pass rusher for the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles draft him.
Who knows?
Hey,
Yeah.
we all call the city a brotherly love, so we'll
Let's
accept
see.
anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I mean, yeah. I mean, that'd be if they fill a position of need with them, then yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean,
I don't care.
that's all. They fill positions of needs.
At the end of the day,
in
it's
the
football,
draft.
and he
Yeah.
even said that in his combine interview, which I don't.
Right.
To me, his interview, his press conference, his first press conference in the combine, to me, if I was a scout, that won me over
Yeah.
because he handled
Right.
the media very well, and
Yeah.
for some rookies, they don't do that so well.
Yeah.
So for me, I think he has enough on the field to get the job. I think he has no negativity off the field to get the job done.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the only reason why you don't pick him is because of his sexual orientation. And I don't think in today's open-minded society you want to be
Yeah.
known.
That we're trying to.
You know,
Yeah.
Let's look at the LA Clippers for a second. Like you don't want to be known as the
Right.
Donald Sterling of the NFL.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hater.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't want to be a hater.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, fill positions of need. You
Yeah.
know.
Like I said, I just brought it up
Fill the wide- yeah.
I just brought it up because I know that that's going to be a story.
Because
going
yeah,
into
it'll
the
be
draft.
one,
And it's
another.
going to be, and it's
Yeah.
going to be because he will be making history.
Right. Yeah. That'll be a story with the draft as long as, or as well as Johnny Manziel. Where does he go?
As soon as he gets drafted,
Yeah.
How far does Bridgewater
Yeah.
drop? I mean, early second round it looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Does Houston take him then? I mean, it looks like
Yeah.
Houston still needs to go quarterback.
Yeah.
But do they say, okay, well, we're not going to get Johnny, but we might get Teddy maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, obviously, next week we'll talk about the draft.
Yeah.
Who the Eagles went.
Who the Eagles go with, and yeah.
Did anybody else surprise people?
Right.
Did Jerry
Yeah.
Jones get his dream? Did the wet dream come true for him essentially?
Yeah. And did the Eagles, address the positions of need? I think
Yes.
to a satisfactory level.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's definitely obviously something to talk about here next week on TW Sports Talk. So yeah, we'll talk about that after the NFL draft starting tomorrow. So yeah, that's that. So thanks for tuning in as always.